And for the rest of my life, I want to serve you, Lord, and do what you want. I pray that you'll bless us now as we share your word and talk about what you did when you came to be with us, and why some people weren't able to fully grasp a hold of the fullness of the gift that you've given us in your forgiveness and your freedom. The freedom you gave us, because it's for freedom that you have set us free. And yet we keep getting entangled again in a yoke of bondage. Lord, help us not to do that anymore. Amen.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
You say amen?
Amen.
He doesn't talk right now. So I'm kind of going through John just verse by verse and chapter by chapter. I'm on chapter 5 right now, 5:41 through 43. And it says, Jesus is talking still. We talked about how Jesus is talking to the Sanhedrin. And they expect him to listen to them and do what they say. And he won't. Mm-hmm. And they're wondering why he won't listen to them and do what he says. Mm-hmm. Because they're the authority and he's just a poor carpenter. He's nobody in their eyes. And so he says, I do not accept glory from human beings, but I know you. I know you. You know, like if I said to Joe, I know you. I know you like to throw big parties. You're very good at it. But Jesus said to these people, he says, I know you. Now anyhow, I know that you do not, he says, I know that you do not have the love of God in your hearts. Now that's chilling to me. What does it mean to have the love of God in your heart? And do I have the love of God in my heart? I want to. But do I really have it? You know, these people thought they had the love of God in their hearts. But Jesus is telling them they do not. How many times have we met people, you know, I've met people who say they're Christians, and then on Sunday they go to church and they're all good Christians, and then they leave church and then they're cheating somebody on Monday. So, you know, it's not my place to judge anyone, but I mean, you know, if you have the love of God in your heart, I would think there would be some kind of symptom in your behavior, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jesus is looking at these guys and he's saying, you have no symptomology. I don't see any behavior in your life that tells me that you have the love of God in your heart. Now, if Jesus said that to me, I would be on my knees asking him to help me get it in my heart. So, anyhow, he says, I have come to my Father's. I have come in my Father's name, and you do not accept me. But if somebody else comes in his own name, you will accept him. That's an interesting concept. You know, we have a community here. We have Phase 1 community, and I've been walking in the morning. I walked two miles this morning. Between yesterday and today, I walked 5 miles, just walking. And I walk in all this through this phase area early in the morning, starting a little after 6. And I get home back here about 7, because it's cool and it's nice, and everybody's getting ready to go on their daily work, you know. So I do this walking down the block, and then this block, and then that block, and then that block, and then that block, and then that block, and I keep going all the way down to the end. And it's about, by the time I go all that, I get about 1,500 steps one time. Mm-hmm. So only like 4 times, and I've done quite a bit. And about 2,000 steps is 1 mile. So, I meet people. Now, I don't know them. I meet them, they seem nice, they're friendly, and they tell me their name, and I immediately forget it. Sometimes I remember. Yeah. But I claim that I'm old, so I forget names. But actually, it's because I'm just not working hard enough at it.
At least you're accepting that you are old.
Yes, I accept that. Well, I feel young inside, but my body is not.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like to look at pictures. When I look at pictures, I go, oh, that's an old man. That's not me. Jesus points out a common characteristic in all of us. As human beings, And we still see it in our community right now. We will meet people. Like I met a man. I won't tell you who he is, but I met a man here, and he started talking to me right away, and he was really interested. He says, "Oh, I would like to talk to all the residents here. You're a pastor. I'll set it up so that you can go ahead and have a meeting. I'll see if anybody wants to come and hear you speak." And I said, "That'd be great. I'd love to do that." So the next day I came by and I said, how's it going with getting somebody to get me to speak? "Oh, I'm not going to do that. I don't know what you're talking about." He didn't even remember that he said it the day before. So I'm beginning to know that man by his behavior. You know, he says one thing one day, he forgets he said it the next. That's not, I'm not judging him, but that's teaching me about what his words are, what he's planning on doing, so I can learn for myself about who he is. Now Jesus is speaking to this, and he says, you people are not sincere. You do not have God's love in your heart. And they're doing everything to get everybody to think they have God's love in their heart they could possibly do. Anytime they're in the public, they're like, "Oh, I'm so holy." And they fast, they stand on the corner with sackcloth, you were pointed at me. Sackcloth, I can't say that. Sackcloth and ashes. They stand on the corner and fast. And they moan, "Oh, so that they'll look holy." That's what they do. And Jesus said, "You're whitewashed sepulchres. Inside you are sick and you are rejecting me, but on the outside you're pretending to be this holy person that you're not." And we do that in our communities. We want to put our best face forward. We want to be honest, some of us. I mean, when we're in a community, we're not going to tell everybody all the problems we have the minute we meet them. That wouldn't be appropriate either. But we shouldn't also put on a face that we are someone we're not. So that's a balance that we have to understand. But we're all like that. As human beings, we all tend to do this. So Jesus understands it. And when Jesus comes to you, he sees your heart. It says God looks on the heart. Now, you and I, we look on the outward appearance. We see someone from the outward appearance and we make decisions about them, and we have no idea who that person is, and our decisions are probably wrong. Because we're not spending enough time to be able to just get to know that person and learn who he or she is. So Jesus looks like a human being with frailties and imperfections, just like any other person. But in reality, he is God. If they had God in their hearts, they would have recognized him. And that's the point that Jesus is trying to make them. Now, he is working hard to teach them. He is not giving up on these people. They're stubborn, they're disrespectful, they're pretending to be, they're liars, they're pretending to be somebody they're not, they're treating people badly, and yet he is spending lots and lots of time speaking to them, trying to get them to see. He doesn't throw them away. He calls them who they are. He isn't particularly, he's calling a spade a spade. He said, "You're whitewashed sepulchres and you're hypocrites," but that's who they were. And God is able to know who we are. And there have been seasons in my life where I have come to God and asked him to show me what the reason I'm having maybe a challenge with getting along with somebody. And I come to realize that it's a character flaw in me. And I have to go to God and ask for help. And we don't want to be defensive about that. We want to hear that. We want our heart to be soft toward God. Never have a hardened heart. Never think that God is condemning you for your situation, for your mistakes in the past, or anything else. He never condemns anyone. He's always there for us to go to and speak to when our heart is seeking him sincerely. And he will touch us. Now, these people he's talking to, they were not like that. They were not sincerely seeking God. They were thinking they were God. And he was a carpenter that should be obeying them. And that shocked them. Because usually, when they come around, everybody gets down on their knees and says, "Please don't make me pay you a turtle dove. Please don't take my money. I made the best I can be." You know, and they're scared of him because they have authority to put them to death if they don't like how they're behaving. That's the kind of fear-based world they're in. Ever feel like you're living in a fear-based world where things in your life, and the society, the earth, the circumstances, you hear on the news all these horrible things, and yet God says He has it all under control, and He's got a plan, and He's working the plan. Amen?
Amen.
So Jesus tells them they do not have the love of God in their hearts. The leaders will accept another human being that they don't really know. That somebody will come up to them, and say, or like if it were me, I'd come up there and I'm Don Russell, and I've got this mansion on the hill, and I'm going to invite you to come, but I actually don't have one. And they believe me, and they give me authority, but I'm lying to them, and they don't know it. But they won't accept the living God who is standing right in front of them. They can't recognize it. And this is a condition of blindness that we talked about before in the message. Well, you were there on Sunday. The condition of blindness where we think things are true that are not true. We're like when we're looking for something in our house and we can't find it, and it's sitting right in front of us, but we have to have somebody else come in the house and look for us because we're so worried that we lost it. Like my wallet. I do this with my wallet. I think I lost my wallet, and if I can't find it right away, I get all anxious and worried, and then I can't see it when I do find it, because it'll blind your ability to see the truth. So we don't want to be that way, right? Anyway, so they do not recognize that God exists and is standing right in front of them and is doing only what God can do. We have a song. Let's go with it.
Yes, go ahead.
Well,
They
I don't
will
like
just
to
stop.
compete with the music. We'll stop soon.